you know, it's just jumps out at you, the guys that have played, and then, you know, there's a big gap right now, and it's not that it's just we got to teach them, you know, and you got to start somewhere. So we got a lot of guys that just haven't played, don't have the experience, and the first group really impressive, and some of those young guys are picking it up pretty quick. And then offensively, I think we're, you know, I would say ahead of where I thought we might be after 2 days. Guys that really bouncing around good, and again, it goes back to there is a lot of carryover from a schematic standpoint, you know, especially for the guys up front. There's a lot of carryover for those guys, and they're the leaders of the group. So we got, I guess, 4 out of 5 guys, 4 seniors and a junior in that first group, and they're kind of leading the way. Taj has been very, very good. He really is grasping, you know, both days of installation very well. So caught the ball extremely well today. But as I told the team after practice, I mean, it's a good start, but we don't play in shorts. So, you know, Wednesday you add the physical component, you know, along with the mental side of it, and so that's when, you know, I most of the time a few more mistakes creep in and things like that from a concentration standpoint when you know, get the physical side in there. But looking forward to Wednesday, looking forward to putting the pads on, and it's hard, it's tough to practice full speed, you know, up front, offensive line, defensive line in shorts. I mean, you have to do that, but it's just hard to really get a true picture of your blitzes and your protections and things like that, because you just, you know, they're running full speed, you're trying to block it, you just can't really get a good gauge. So put your gear on, you get a little cleaner look, and looking forward to that on Wednesday.
Taj did all snaps with the ones.
Oh yeah.
And are you mixing
the
other guys?
And we'll rotate. We'll rotate them by days. You know, those other 2. It's really right. You know, Taj is you know, clearly the guy, and the battle's going to be who the backup guy is going to be. Yeah, that, you know, after 2 days we'll roll them pretty consistently through spring, so we have a good feel of. You know, if there's a guy ahead or whatever, but both of them doing a good job. You know, Cole's made some really good throws, so has Tony. But, you know, both of them just got a lot to learn, like you would imagine a true freshman. But I will say this, for true freshmen, just guys just literally rolling right out of here, out of high school, they both have been impressive to me, and how they're putting things, you know, picking things up. And it is a little simpler system, you know, from a quarterback standpoint, which is good, and that's going to help us as we keep installing.
How about at left tackle? How's it look?
Well, you know, again, in shorts for 2 days, you know, so that's something we really can't get the answers that we want until we have some competitive days with the pads on. But you know, Price is the guy right now. That's how we're starting. We're going to give him the first crack at it. Brandon Thomas, they're going to compete. You know, and again, as I told you the other day, we have some options there. We're fortunate that we got a few ways that we could go, and you know, maybe it's a freshman coming in here. I don't know, but I think Price is shown with his work ethic, the way what he's done in the off season, that he's pretty serious about it. He's ready to challenge to be the guy. So we'll see if he can hold on to it, but he's going to get the first crack.
Dabo said he'd done a lot. He jumped out more than any of the linemen in terms of just changing his conditioning and really, I think, even just foot speed.
Talking about Phillip?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, the best thing he does is move his feet. I mean, he's an athlete. You know, he's a kid that came here as a tight end, and you know, we felt like he would eventually grow into a tackle, and that's where we are. And he's been a work in progress. But you know, he was a very good basketball player in high school. He's just now he's a 300-pounder that used to be a tight end. So he's still got that athleticism more than any of those guys up front, as far as just his ability to move his feet and kick and all that. He can do it. It's not a problem. And he's long. He's a long-armed kid. He's a tough guy. It's just a matter of he can handle the big stage. So we're going to see if he can put it all together. And I'm really proud of him. He's gotten it together academically. I mean, he's really just gotten real serious about trying to be, you know, a good player.
And knowing that you have the voids on the defensive line and the secondary, have any of these kids really jumped out at you so far?
On the D-line?
Yeah,
and I don't know if you were over here a minute ago. That's probably been the biggest thing is there's just there's just a big gap from that. I mean, Brandon Thompson and then the next guy in there. There's just it's just a huge gap right now. But you got a guy that's going on his 4th year, and you got a guy who hadn't played a snap. And so that's the biggest thing defensively, is bringing our 2nd tier guys and 3rd tier guys, just coaching them up this spring. Got a lot to learn, and that's there's no way you can expect them to be as good as a guy that's started for 3 years. But some of those guys are like Corey Crawford. He just jumps out at me, but he's a little more mature, a little further along. He went to prep school for a season, so he's got a ton of natural ability, and that just strikes you. But until we put the pads on, again, it's just hard to really get a real true evaluation of those guys. But they're moving good in their drills and all that, and they're in good shape. Pleased with that part of it, but just don't know enough right now.
What did you think of Ellington running today?
He did good. He did good. He just ran straight ahead, but he looked really good. It's good to see him running. To be honest with you, it's good to see him on the earth, on the not in the pool or something like that. But he I think he was excited about it. It looked good. Looked good to me.
Timetable then for doing more agility stuff and
I don't know. We'll meet the staff meeting. Daniel will take what he saw today, and I'm sure he'll get with the doctors and they'll talk. And I'm not sure when they'll cut him loose to start doing some cutting and stuff, but hopefully in the near future. They'll probably, I would think, watch him this week, let him continue to do some straight ahead running, and maybe start mixing some other stuff in. It might be a week, might be 2 weeks. I don't know.
You think Breland will be able to bring you some of the versatility that Gilchrist?
Oh yeah, I do. And he was a guy that caught our eyes on the scout team last year. I mean, just about every day. I mean, he would get really mad when a lot of times guys on scout team, they get their 4 plays and they're looking for that sub. Breland, he would get mad if you took him out. He's just that kind of guy. He just want to go play another position, and he didn't want to come out. And that he's got a real drive to him that I think is going to make him a special player in time. But yeah, he a lot like Gilly. I think he's going to be able to play corner and give us a physical presence at corner that we had with Maxwell. He's not quite as big as Maxwell, but he's a good-sized young guy, and but also be able to go play either safety or nickel or whatever. I mean, he's got coverage ability, but he's got range and he's got the physical part of it that you like in a safety. And he's got great ball skills. He's going to be a good one.
What has Joe Craig shown you the first couple of days of your season?
He can fly. I mean, he can flat out fly. He's worked hard. Made a great catch today. I mean, put it on ESPN real catch today. It was an outstanding play. But he's got a lot of competitiveness to him. Plays fast all the time. That's what I like about Joe Craig. He don't take plays off. When the ball is snapped, he is wide open until it's over, and that's a great quality that he has. He's fast. Everybody knows he can line up and run, but there's a lot of fast guys that don't play fast. He does. He plays fast, and he's going to be a guy that's going to help us. I don't have any doubt about it. We've got to continue to. He's a work in progress physically, and we got to continue to get him stronger. Because that's going to help him, in playing, avoiding guys in space and stuff like that, and bouncing off of people. But when you got wheels like that, that makes up for some of that.
With the issues you had at wide receiver, what held him back last fall?
Just size. He was just really little. Had a hard time picking everything up, and it was probably just the main thing. And then again, it just wasn't the best thing for him. We thought a couple times, maybe we should just bite the bullet and throw this sucker in there, but it wasn't the best thing for Joe. The best thing for him was to redshirt and get in that weight room and get stronger, and he's going to benefit from it, and so are we. And hopefully 4 years from now we'll be saying, boy, sure are glad we bit the bullet and we redshirted him when we did. But I really think he's going to be a good one.
Sorry. Now that Malachi's finally got his chance to really step up and assert himself in the starting lineup, I know he's pretty excited from talking to him. I imagine you're probably just as excited to see him get out there.
Yeah, well, he's put his time in. He's been backing up a pretty good player here for a couple of years. So Malachi's no chopped liver. He is a very, very good football player and has started some, but he he hadn't had Daquan, the #1 pick probably in the draft in front of him for the last 2 years, he probably would have started most places. But he's grown. He's played a lot. He's learned, and he's I think ready to, say, hey, I'm okay too. And so we'll see how he responds to, again, being the guy. He has not had that type of pressure on him yet, because he's had another guy there, a buddy. But now he's got a chance to be the mentor to another player. And Courtney Brown is probably going to probably look at him more at the end right now and see how that helps him. But I think Malachi will be just fine.
Will Spencer Adams rejoin the football team after indoors?
I'm not sure about that right now. I think he's had a lot of success in track. He's been very, very successful over there, and I think that is probably his first love. And there's some guys that are football guys that go run track, and then from time to time you have a track guy that plays football. And I think Spencer falls into that category. I think he really loves track, whereas CJ and Jacoby and those guys, this time of year the whistle will be blowing, they couldn't wait to get over here. It's just their nature. But I'm not sure right now on his future as a football player.